glass of Pimm's?
That would be wonderful. Thank you very much.
Because Pimm's is always quite a good way of pretending, at least, that the weather's nice, even when it's not.
It's very easy to drink lots of, yeah, especially on a warm
Yeah.
summer evening.
Which we're going to pretend this is.
Cheers.
You have one of those jobs that actually makes my head spin. Tell me about your work at UCL.
Well, I'm a computer science academic, but then also kind of part of what I'm doing now is setting up a charity to promote the use of computer science and to get everyone just a bit more tech savvy, I guess.
And so a lot of the things you've done have sort of involved championing and inspiring women in technology and in computing.
For some reason, the word feminism kind of has got some overtones of bra burning and being very militant. Whereas if you look it up in the dictionary, it's all about equality for women. So I think we need to maybe kind of rebrand feminism.
Foie gras is your first dish. Mm-hmm. What is it about foie gras that you love?
The taste. Basically. I mean, I've had foie gras, I think, once in a restaurant in Brussels, and someone said, "Oh, you've got to try this. This is the best thing ever," and went in and had it, and I just thought that's the nicest thing I've ever tasted in my whole life.
But it is a slightly sort of controversial,
Delicious.
controversial and delicious thing. There's actually a farmer in Spain called Eduardo Souza who started making ethical foie gras. So instead of force feeding the geese, he waits till the autumn when they do it naturally.
Right.
But at least you know it's
Yes.
no one's been harmed.
Well, maybe I'll eat it more often.
So your second dish is a lovely Italian dessert called
Affogato. I love ice cream and I love coffee, and so does my partner. So we saw it on the menu and thought, oh, we'll try that. And since then, it's my favourite dessert and his as well.
Finally, your dish of the day is steak and chips, which I think would be most people's dish of the day. What is it that you love so much about it?
I've got 3 older children. When they were younger, we didn't have that much money, so most of our dinners were either vegetarian or involved chicken, I guess, because it was cheap. And so I used to walk past the steak counter at Tesco's, kind of salivating, thinking, oh, I wish I could buy those steaks, they look so lovely. So once we did have a bit more money, we started eating steaks.
Well, I've got this beautiful and huge piece of ribeye from a butcher in Stoke Newington in northeast London called Meat N16.
It's a good name.
Must have taken them a while to come up with that.
Sounds fabulous.
Excellent.
Can't wait.
All right. So how do you like it cooked? Sort of medium rare? Perfect. So you like your steak quite sort of traditional chips, French frite or big chunky pub chips? Yeah, I love truffle oil, but have you ever tried truffle salt?
That sounds nice. How do you make it?
Very easily done. You just grate some fresh truffle into salt. And it also preserves the truffle for longer. So if you keep it in a jar, it'll keep for months. Perfect. Just going to let this rest for a bit. So Sue, you seem to have fingers in so many pies, and when I found out that you were involved with Bletchley Park, I thought, what a totally random thing to be involved in, but actually it's very completely linked with what you do.
Absolutely. Bletchley Park is the place where the code breakers worked during the Second World War. More than 10,000 people worked there, and more than half the people that worked there were women, so I got very excited about that because I'm very kind of girl power.
Yeah.
So the work that was done there was said to have shortened the war by at least 2 years. And at that time, 11 million people a year were dying. So it's like potentially saving millions and millions of lives. And it's also the birthplace of the first programmable digital computer, Colossus.
Wow.
So I went away and raised some money for a project to promote that. And at the launch of that project, found out that Bletchley Park was teetering on a financial knife edge and might have to close. Basically then I started a campaign to try and save it and to raise awareness, writing letters to the Times and getting on BBC News and stuff like that. But then after that, I think what's really made the longest lasting impact has been using social media, and in particular Twitter. And normally I got about 50 hits a day on my blog, which I thought was great. And then Stephen Fry tweeted and it got 8,000 hits that day. Gradually over the years, it's kind of built into this big awareness of, of how wonderful Bletchley Park is and how we needed to save it. And it's not at risk anymore.
You enjoy. Good pinch of Maldon sea salt. Let's get stuck in.
When I was about 6 or 7, I used to save my pocket money up so that I could go to WH Smith's at the weekend and buy maths textbooks for fun.